Hello class, welcome to our online session. Throughout the week, we will be participating in online activities, and one of the most important one being participating in our Blackboard discussion board. In the background, I have Screencast-O-Matic running. This is the website information. I'm using the free version. It allows you to record for 15 minutes for free. And then the pro version, I didn't even go for that because 15 minutes is all we need. You basically click on Launch Recorder and it starts recording. You can have just the screen option, just not having you in the video presentation, or just you, not the screen, your computer screen, or both. What I suggest to do is, or the expectation is that you use both to make it more personal. As you can see, I am here in the corner. I can move my video screen throughout the monitor screen. So as I said, I have used this before, and students say that it's very easy software to implement for the video presentations. So I wish you good luck and just have fun with it while you are the discussion leader that week. Now, as for what we will be discussing, we will be studying Chapter 3 this week by Rod Ellis, of course. It is basically the chapter focuses on psychological factors that influence second language acquisition. So the key psychological factors. Rod Ellis mentions three types: cognitive, conative, and affective, and provides examples throughout the chapter, and specifically, of course, under cognitive, conative, and affective, there are multiple factors, but it specifically focuses on language aptitudes, motivation, and language anxiety, because these factors have the strongest impact on L2 learning. Besides language aptitude under cognitive, there are factors as intelligence and learner beliefs. Under conative, willingness to communicate. And under affective factors, besides language anxiety, there are other factors as personality and learning styles. And besides our chapter, we have an article, and that article also talks about all these factors emerging and overlapping in the experiences of learners who have been successful. We're still continuing with the variable of age, have been successful to speak in native speaker proficiency. So when we look into these, especially with language aptitude, when we start with it, we need to remember, or we need to know what aptitude, language aptitude means. It basically referred as someone having the potential for learning languages, that it is a special talent, a special gift for learning especially this is for foreign language. It doesn't mean or is not used interchangeably with intelligence. So it is language aptitude is language aptitude. Again, it refers to the prediction of how well an individual can learn the foreign language at a given time and at given conditions and circumstances. One of the tests that we think of first in determining the language aptitude is that has been out for years, modern language aptitude test. Basically, the test's purpose is measuring, as we mentioned, individuals' ability to learn foreign language, and it targets English-speaking adults who are literate. There are tests for younger elementary student kids, but when we think about the actual test, we think about the one. It has a different name with MLATE in the end. So to give a brief background of the test, it was created by Carolyn Sapin in 1959. How long ago that was, right? It is, there is one form, and it has a short and a long form. It measures, it has 4 components of the aptitude test. It measures, we'll look into that in detail, measures the phonemic coding ability, grammatical sensitivity, inductive language learning ability, and rote learning ability. And we may be like, oh, what is this? This is not familiar, but I'll provide information on the sections that will help us understand it closely. So what we mean by, if we look at part 1, to give an example, in part 1, memory component of a foreign language aptitude is evaluated. And in this part, candidates, for example, learn numbers in an unknown language through oral input. And what they need to do is translate this, the new learned information, numbers, for example, from that language into English. I myself have been gifted by that. I would say I can count numbers, and I can quickly learn them in, I would say, 7, 8 languages. In Arabic, in Italian, in German, in French, even Italian, I never had formal. I start counting, never forgot it. It was twice or 3 times I heard it in Korean. So that's what this is similar. This test in that section measures. The second part is about the phonetic coding ability. In this part, it looks for the candidate, the test taker, association between phonetic symbols and sounds. Okay, and then they find the symbol corresponding to the sound they hear. And the third one, it's again phonetic coding ability. English words written in a reduced form instead of conventional spelling. You need to recognize that. Restrained, for restrain, and choose from the options that are closest to the meaning. And then you find the meaning of, like, oh, restrained is close to the word meaning of self-control. When we look at part 4, in this one, it measures the grammatical sensitivity. For example, in a sentence, typically there are 2 sentences. In the first sentence, there's a word that is underlined, and in the second sentence, there are words that are underlined, and you try to find the basically the function of the grammatical function that is similar to the one in the first sentence. If it's a subject, of it's the relation of, like, if it's in if there are adjectives or verbs, and so various grammatical functions and their how they're similar. And paired associates, the intent is basically to measure the rote learning ability for foreign language materials. They ask the test taker to memorize an English word, like "cab" for juice in English, and it's probably an unknown language. And you choose the meaning after you learn it. It asks you to remember the meaning of "cab." Is it juice? Is it cart, corn, tool, or run? So that's the choice you need to make. This is a test that is still being used, and we'll talk about the criticisms of it. However, as you can see, like at a short time, it asks the candidates to learn certain words and memorize them and repeat them by just finding the right answer, right? Repetition. So it was the foundation, as we discussed last week, was behaviorism. And as we said, behaviorism translated into the audiolingual method, and we talked about how that is still widely practiced in English as a foreign language contexts. So it has been found a very strong predictor of learners, the aptitude. So it has, as I said, there are criticism, but it is still being widely used by government agencies and all, or like they don't sell the test to individual entities. One of the things that we need to remember is that this aptitude is, they're seeing it as a fixed ability rather than influenced by training. That's why it's seen as a talent ability, but we know that training has also a lot to do with the success of the language learner, so that will be problematic. Another big criticism is that it doesn't really represent a complete definition of L2 aptitude. Is it those 4 skills of grammatical sensitivity, rote learning ability? Are those valid conceptualization of language aptitude? Are they really what fully covers what aptitude is? And they're saying that no, they're more than there could be more abilities than that when we consider aptitude. In the remaining 1 minute that we have in this recording, I will have to do a second one. You'll see that there has been various proposed models for language aptitude, from Skihan to ability differentiation hypotheses by Robinson. With the important thing you need to do with Skihan is, like, one could have a high ability in one aptitude construct and low in others. So there are, as you will see it in our article, these all are individually, they're unique to the individuals, and we can't just prescribe it in a boxed format. that's what we need to remember when we think